Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. In this one, we're going to be learning about static keyword in JavaScript. So before going into the video, I would appreciate you guys clicking and subscribing the video and feel free to comment. So let's go on the topic. So first, to define static keyword, it's basically a keyword that lets us define properties and methods inside the class. And to define the static keyword, we have to use static and then the method or the property you want. So basically, a method is kind of like a function and the property is kind of like an object. And basically using the static keywords helps us to not create more instances or to create more and more objects storing the class, and it also is going to be sharing the property or the method to all the instances, which we're going to be learning soon. So let's see an example. So first I'm gonna have class, and then this class name is gonna be a math class. Basically I'm just gonna create some stuff with this. So first we're gonna do, the first thing is basically gonna be creating a static property. So static property is basically created by having your static keyword and also an object name. So I'm just gonna give a number equals and 1. So that's basically a static property. So the cool thing about this is basically, let's do console.log, and here what we can do is directly use a math. So if you observe, we're not creating new instance. Normally what we would do is basically do something like this. So let's just click enter right there, and we are basically going to do let, and then we're going to do a variable a equals, and then we're going to have the math just like that, and we just forgot we're gonna have new right there, so that we are basically creating new instances. So that's basically what we're gonna do. But if you use static, you can directly access the class and then just access the property you want. So let's just do math.number just like that, and there we go. So now let's go ahead and open with live server real quick. So let's go ahead and to our live server, open with live server, and there we go, it opened for our live server. So let's go ahead and inspect this, and let's go to console real quick, and let me just unzoom that, and there we go. So there we go, our number is there, which is 1. So that is very convenient because we are not creating new instances, we can directly access this, and we're gonna use this a lot of times if you want to make it so fast and stuff. So yeah, and that's basically, it's given our output as 1, so that works. So let's go ahead and go to index.js. Now let's go ahead and see a static method. So for this, you're gonna have your static keyword, and then you're gonna have a function. So let's just name this function as add, and then we're gonna basically not have any parameters. And here I'm just gonna have let's just say return 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1. So now let's just change this to add and then have a function just like that. And there we go. So let me just zoom this. And there we go. So it does work too. And that's basically an example of using the static method. So basically we're just returning 1 plus 1 inside a static method. And it's almost similar, except you're kind of using a function. So let's go ahead and create more of these. So let's go ahead and have our constructor. So remember, whenever you have your constructor, you have to create a new instance because you have to pass the argument and stuff. So yeah, but instead you can do that. But instead what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a number as a direct argument right here. So I'm just gonna do that. So we're gonna do number, and then we're gonna do number 1 or number 2 right here, which I'm gonna be adding a parameter number 2. Let's just do number 2. There we go. So I'm gonna copy this and then put it right here. Let's just copy this again, and there we go. So now there we go, we have it, and we can create more of these. So, and one of them I'm not gonna have a static, and then show you guys what is gonna happen if we don't have static. So this is gonna be sub, basically it's gonna subtract, and this is gonna be division, and we're gonna have this one as multiply, and there we go. So we have our everything done. So let's just change these signs. This is going to be minus, this is going to be division, and this is going to be multiplication. And let's just remove for division the static. Let's just do that, and there we go. So now we're going to be having more of these, and then try to see what's going to happen. So we're going to have 4 of these, and we're going to change this to sub. That's going to be div, and this is gonna be multiply. And there we go. So many people might think it's just gonna work, but instead it's not gonna work. So let's see, and not a number and stuff. And let's just pass some arguments to see the output. 1 and 2, and this is gonna be 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and the next one is gonna be 1 and 2, and the last one to be 1 and 2, 1 and 2. There we go. So we have those, and there we go, 3, -1 and stuff. And after we got there, it didn't work. And as you see, math.div is not a function. So basically the thing is happening is we are directly accessing without the static keyword, which doesn't work. So if you want to access this, you got to create new instance, and it doesn't share with these objects like that. So it belongs to the class. The static belongs to the class, so that's why we're going to use math. But these doesn't kind of belong to this class. You can have to create a new instance, basically kind of belonging to the object. So that's an example of using these. So we can do many things with this. So let's just have a constructor right now, constructor, and with this you can also perform something like how many calculations or something is happening. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna keep a basic argument a, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm just gonna have it like that. So let's just have this dot a equals a. So basically now what we can do is basically try to get the amount of the objects being created. So let's just do objects, or let's just say math objects. So basically it's gonna be 0 for now, and we're gonna be increasing if this is created. Math object, let's just do plus plus, and remember it should be static. So let's just do it static, because we have to make it static because it's going to be shared among all these objects being created. So that's why we're going to have static and this dot math object. And there we go. So let's just make it math. There we go. And you can, I guess, also make it to this, I guess. So let's just do this, and that should be it. So let's go ahead and change the things what we're doing. So we're gonna have let a equals math, and then we're gonna pass an argument as let's just say 1 this time, and we're gonna be having just like that console.log. And since we want the objects created, we're just gonna do math math objects, and there we go. And since it's a property, we just don't have to have a function. So let's just see, and let's go ahead and do this. There we go. So let's see, math cannot be invoked with the new, so let's create the new right there. So I just forgot to create a new instance there, and there we go, we got 1 because there's only one object created. So you can just have multiple. Let's just have these, and you can change the arguments too. So I'm gonna change them to 3, 4, and also the variables. So let's just change it to B, and that's gonna be C, and that's gonna be D. So basically I really don't have any variables right now to put, so that's why I'm just doing this. So yeah, and let's go ahead and do that, and let's go see. And there we go, it's given us 4. So by this you can also determine how many objects are being created and stuff, so you can do that too. That's basically it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.